we go. Scooch lower? How's that? Is that okay? There? Right there? Okay, good. I'll try and remember. That's 8%. That's an 8%. Yay. Perfect. Oops, I'll put this on top too. Yeah, the music is a free service of this streaming software. The streaming software is free, and the music is free, and it's copyright free, which makes me even happier. You know what? Let me move this out of the frame. And maybe if I move that out of the frame, it'll help it focus a little better. Because I think the lights were confusing a little bit. I'm going to go right back here. Whoops. I went right back to do something and I don't know what I did. Oh, wait, here. Let me go down here. Screen capture. Mess with my properties one more time just to adjust my focus. If I can. Hey, morning Arrow. Welcome back. We're experimenting with camera settings today because I'm still trying to get just the right look. Alright, I'm just going to leave it there. I said that a minute ago too, but now I'm really going to leave it there. 2 cameras! Oh yeah! And so, got the second webcam in yesterday and set it up this morning. And kind of excited about it because I think it's a brand new level of stuff. So now you can see why I have to wear my glasses when I stitch. And I'm finding now that I have to wear them at work too. I have to wear them a fair bit. So this is the year of the glasses, which at some point here we're going to have to get in to see the vision people and see truly kind of where things are at. Let me go over here. Good. Husband's downstairs working on the garden today. I had another lovely salad yesterday for lunch. I'm going to have another one today. And so he is contemplating kind of converting everything over. It's probably cinnamon roll. Some kind of yellow pigment thing. He made cinnamon rolls this morning. It's not coming along that fast. This is still page 1. And so, I mean, I wish it was. We got a lot of stitches done. What was it, 400 stitches done the other night? So I'm hoping to get another 300-400 done here today. I wish it was coming along faster. But I can see myself streaming fairly frequently if I'm just going to stitch. Sometimes I'll go downstairs and stitch and we talk. And we, gotta actually say hi occasionally to the hubby and the dogs. We were having a storm last night, a rare storm. It wasn't really raining, but there was a lot of thunder. It was kind of going past us. And poor Jelly got so scared. So she kept coming over wanting some loving. So when those kinds of things happen, I have to go down and see her because she needs me. She needs her mama. I could also sit up a little higher. She's one of those dogs that she's been super, scared her whole life. But in our house, she seems to do really well. And thankfully, she bonded to me, which I think I'm the first person she ever bonded to, really. And this comes from her prior owner who rescued her from the shelter. She has a hard time with trust, but it's all good. Fast for your speed. I understand. Some of it's just committing to doing it, It's the more you work on a project, the faster you get at it. kind of like with Old World Map 2. So I was telling you guys, I actually started the next page on Old World Map 2. Drink. You see my hospital glass I have here? Check out the size of my glass. It's Diet Dr. Pepper. I can't help it. I mean, I can help it, but it's what I drink. It's my major vice. So I don't do coffee, don't do tea. I don't do regular soft drinks. I just do the diet. And yes, I know that's not the healthiest thing, but gotta have me some caffeine. But so I was working on. I started the new page, and I worked. I want to say it's not worked. You guys know what I'm talking about. Work is not a bad word. Work is a good word, and so I worked on it for I don't know, like 2-3 hours last night. Got 400 stitches done. Got a lot of the lettering done with on the next page. And so I was actually thinking about doing it up here. What I need to do is I need to bring it up here, or actually no. What I need to do is I need to pull Pattern Keeper up for it, and then I need to go through and I need to go back and order some floss from the other groups. Dr. Pepper and the cream soda stuff. Oh, that's a little too sweet for me, but I get you. Dr. Pepper knows what they're doing, man. They know how to make you addicted to stuff. But I just need to order a bucket load of floss. The craft stores around here are opening, but I'm just like, eh. The reality is that I just don't like to go shopping. I don't like to go into stores and do things. So I can I can cover my dislike of shopping by saying, I just don't want to go outside because of COVID. The reality is I just don't want to go anywhere. I'm a homebody and I don't like shopping. So your hospital cup is your favorite. You know, I actually ordered this off of Amazon. And you can see how long I've had it because it's like all the numbers are all worn off of it. But after I was in the hospital for my neck surgery, I was like, these are like the perfect size cups to like put drinks in because I don't like to. I drink a fair bit, and so I don't want to have to go and fill it up all the time because I'm lazy. Well, that, and every time I get up, Doogie has to follow me. And then Doogie follows me into the kitchen, or up into the kitchen, the 4 steps up in the kitchen. And then if I don't invite him into the living room when I come downstairs, he basically stands up there and whines, and I don't know what his issue is. He's a bit of a weirdo, my boy. I'm still not happy with this. I might switch these cameras for the next live stream because that one's a Logi blah 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 whatever. I think it's a Logitech, but I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. But this is also this is supposed to be the nicer Logitech, but I'm struggling with focus. Again, maybe if I just raise it up like a foot and then focus it. I just figured out, like, this morning how I can focus it. So, hopefully, we'll figure that out and we'll do it for another stream. Every stream gets a little better. Anyway, so yeah, I need to order a bunch of floss, and I can just do that off. That's the other thing great about Pattern Keeper is that you can literally just look and see what colors you need. So easy. But yeah, I was flying. And I honestly am at a point where I could definitely probably easily do another 400 today. That would be very cool. Stitching away. I woke up this morning and I was just checking the news and I saw where somebody had finally put out a story on the giant hornets. We like to call them the super hornets. It's not a joke. This is actually a real thing. I don't know if you've heard about them. They somehow got over here from Asia, and probably in some kind of shipment. They're in Washington State right now, and these guys are huge. They're like 2 inches, 2.5 inches wide, and not wide, long. And just a couple of them can kill an entire hive in a couple of hours. They literally rip the heads off of the bees. They're very vicious, and they just take over a hive. They're horrible. They're just absolutely, they're like super villains, super big villains. And anyway, they got over here, which is really bad, because it's yet another threat to the bee population. What are you doing down there? Huh? Trying to get up? There you go. Hey, buddy. So, yet one more threat. Hopefully, Washington State will be able to eradicate them. You okay? Yeah, you okay? Yeah, I know. Hopefully Washington State will be able to eradicate them before they get anywhere. Because if they make it to California, I mean, goodbye bee population. They will eradicate bees. I mean, that would be it. So it's a very bad threat. Almost as bad as varroa mites, but probably worse because they can also hurt people. So they talk about if you see one, do not try to kill it. Call your public health department right away. Maybe you can find, I think they do have nests, but they can kill people. So they are able to, they sting you multiple times, or if you get multiple stings from different hornets, they will kill you. And they can also sting through a bee suit, through most bee suits. There are some special bee suits that can protect yourself against that, but they don't, they just don't recommend the average person or the average beekeeper to mess with them. So hopefully we will not see them this coming summer and fall. They said they're late summer, fall. Music still loud? All right, let me turn it down. This station is actually kind of loud. Maybe I'll change stations. Stations. Let's find some chill. No. You guys want some holiday music? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Here, let me. That's nice and chill. I'm gonna turn my sound down. Oh, is that okay? Yeah, right, Kelly? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not one of those shoppers. My mom would do the same thing. I'm just not much of a shopper. I was born into the right time of civilization because internet shopping to me is like the greatest thing ever. Oh, let's get rid of this. Let's be done with this. Still see I took down like half of my cross stitch stuff this week. Pulling stuff off. Oingo boingo. Oingo bongo. Can you do oingo boingo? Oingo boingo. What are you doing in the back? Blingle, blingle. You're looking for food, aren't you? Yeah, I need to feed you guys. All right, good. I'm glad it's better. I can't hear it at all now, so I turned my sound. I turned up my sound down. I'm gonna go feed these guys real quick. Just right over here. Hello, Mercury. Hello, the birds. Hello, the birds. Watch out, I'm coming over. There we go. Oh, you guys are so funny. I gotta clean your cage again soon here. There we go. Your food smells so good. Don't know why. There's that, and then let me grab your water. Oh, hold on a second, guys. Whoa, let's close the door. I'm gonna change out their water here. Hey, Murky. Hello, birds. Here's some water. Here's some water. Okay, now you guys can be happy and eat and drink and have your bath. Well, actually, can you have your bath? Well, your water's getting low on that. Let me fill your water up. There you go. You're fine. You're fine. There you go. All right. Here we go. Back. All right. Oh. I do wear these things all the time. I'm not listening to anything right now. I got so used to wearing them all the time. Weird. My birds are weird. My dogs are weird. My hamster's weird. Haven't seen a hamster in like over a day. She's kind of lazy. She's like her mama. Kind of lazy. Alright. Get myself up above this thing. Let's see, what else do I need to stitch here? Here. Alright. So is everybody still working on their same projects that they were working on the other day? What happened? What happened? Wow, I am like, sometimes what I do with my floss is just crazy. There we go. Yeah, so you know what I do is I look at the pattern, and for the most part, if like for this, there's only 3 colors that I'm working on right now for Honeybee Project because there's so much of those colors in here. So it depends on how I'm feeling. So sometimes I'll how do I say this? It really totally depends on how I'm feeling. If I want to get a lot of stitching done, then I'll pick a color that I know I need to stitch a lot with. And if I know I need to get some things done, I need to get some little stitches done. If I'm in the mood, then I'll get a lot of little stitches done. I was doing a mix of that with Old World Map 2 last night, where I was taking a lot of colors that only needed maybe 2 stitches for what I needed. Go ahead and put those 2 stitches in. Do another color with a couple stitches. And then for break, I'll take a couple long pieces of floss and stitch a bunch of stitches with one color. So it totally depends. There's no rhyme or reason. Every project is different. So with this one, it mostly because I only brought up like 3, I'm just trying to get stitches done. So like the more stitches that I can get in on this project, the better it makes me feel. So I need to come back up and fill in all these little bits. And I can do that and then fill in little bits down here too. So right now I think it's mostly about just trying to get as many stitches done on this project as I can, just to kind of move forward. So it's a little weird. And so I'm different. Magic Study, nice. Merge Dragons. Merge Dragons. Is that a computer game or a phone game? I haven't heard of Merge Dragons. Don't give me another obsession. I'm just teasing. I already have too many. Too many. Too many. So like for Stitch With Me right now, like I'll focus on just whatever I can stitch with the colors that I have. And then I'll pull out a bunch of little colors later and work on them. And try and fill in more of the little bits all over the place. Like I did. I think I went up and finished like the top part up here. Made sure that the top row was done. But I'll need to come back in and work on the vest of the vest. The vest of the vest. Tuck this over there. That's getting in the way on the back of the project here. There we go. So I'm gonna go back to working on the Bears project. I'm back to being a Bears fan. Not fanned. They basically told Trubisky, their quarterback, put up or shut up this year. So they haven't cut him, but they didn't pick up his option on his contract. So this is his last year on his contract. So if he learns how to play well and he starts playing better, then which I honestly, I mean, the kid's a nice guy, but I don't think he can do it unless he learns from Nick Foles. I don't know. Maybe we could re-sign him as a backup. You know, I don't know if Nick Foles is going to be like the man there, but at least I have some hope. And I wish they would have drafted somebody, but I mean, Nick Foles could still be a quarterback for another 3, 4, 5 years, depending upon if he can play as well as he played when he was with Philly. Wow, the dogs are really barking. Are they barking outside? Phone game. Nice. Nice efficiency. I really don't want the dogs to be barking. It's not even 10 o'clock here. And I'm not going to yell at Fargo right here. I'm going to have the hubby watch that if he can. Yeah, there are some games that I have to play because I need to organize or do something. Build things. You scratching your face? I need to give you some things to mess with. You're acting like you need to really Okay, hold on a second. Huzzy's not taking care of the dogs. The dogs need to be put inside. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. There's some people out in the field over in the couple doors down. They're out in the field. I don't know what they're doing, and it's fine. No big deal. But the dogs are out there barking at them. And we endeavor to be good neighbors, especially since we have so many dogs. Technically, we have too many dogs. So we've got to be good neighbors. So, hey, Lucy, what's up? Thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining us. We're just chilling and stitching. You've chosen, if this is your first stream, you've chosen a good first stream because I got camera. Got the birds. What are you guys talking about? All right. And if they get too loud, I can always cover them. Anyway, working on some honeybee portrait. See, now this looks really good. The color is starting to come in a little bit, but still working on this part. It's a pretty thing. It's a pretty, pretty thing. Pretty, pretty. Alrighty. Oh. I was like, where are my glasses? It's your first time. Well, thanks, Lucy. Welcome. We just like to hang out and chat. If you're stitching or doing some other craft, that's awesome. If you're just hanging out, listening, that's awesome too. Nice group of people we have here. We're just hanging. Just the hanging. Feel free to ask any questions. Just chilling. Scoot up a little closer. There we go. Snaggerific. Snaggerific. This is so, and all this fabric I'm holding in my lap for this project. The problem is with this one is that it tends to twist. For whatever reason, this project loves to twist more than just about any others. Now I know that I could take, so I'm just rolling up the edges here. I know I could take a, what do you call it, one of those little clips you keep bags closed with. I know I could do that, but it does tend to add a little bit to the weight of a project, and that bugs me when I'm trying to stitch. Sometimes it's a little too much for my hands. Yeah. I know, I keep messing with this. I try and raise this up a smidge. It's still not exactly what I want, but Pattern Keeper? Pattern Keeper? Yep, we're using that right now too. Actually, did I need to do those stitches? I don't think I did. We're going to do like a reverse frog. Don't normally frog like this. And it's okay to leave like half stitches there, which is, I kind of got that snag, so I'll fix it when I come back over and do it. Oh, you have the app? You don't know how to use it? All right, well, let's go through a little tutorial here. Now, Lucy, do you have, birds? Hey, hey. Do you have your pattern loaded up? Here, let me take this off. Do you have your pattern loaded up on your phone? Because I got my phone here. So the first thing you need to do, birds, Hold on a second. There we go. Loading all your patterns up. Get that out of the glare. You see all my pretty patterns. There's some great tutorials on how to do this, and but the thing is that you have to upload your pattern to a Google Drive account, which is free. You just are going to need I think you need a Gmail thing. Elathenvern. I can't pronounce that. Ella? Can I call you Ella? Thanks for following. That's awesome. Thank you so much. So let's just assume that you've loaded up your pattern into Pattern Keeper. There are tutorials all over the place on how to do it, but I'll show you real quick. Once you actually have your pattern loaded into Pattern Keeper and it's in here, once you click on it, actually you'll start. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you what. Let me get out of this one. Let me pull up one that I haven't really done anything with, which is this one. So when you pull it up, and it kind of looks like this, and it's like, oh my gosh, my pattern didn't show up. Your pattern is there. All you have to do is you go on the screen and you just expand your fingers down on the screen, and you zoom in, and you zoom in, and you zoom in. It's like Google Maps. And then there it is. And so I start in the upper left of everything. So we're just going to use our fingers to do the walking. And so then we're going to zoom in a little more so we can see what's going on here. So your top left icon is, I like to call it the compass icon. And it lets you move your screen around. It lets you pull out, pull in, and just move everything around. Your center button is your kind of like your search, but it's more of a color search. So if you press on that, and then you press on one of your colors, then every one of those colors will be highlighted, or every one of that icon will be highlighted. Actually, I think in the entire pattern, but it tells you what number it is, and then it tells you how to do the stitches, or it tells you where to do the stitches. Now, if you need to move this around, like I usually don't keep this function on. I will put it back on the compass version so that I can then move this around and zoom in a little closer. Here, I'll tell you what. Let me change colors. Let me change colors to like the heart. I'll make it a little easier to see, I think. And so, sorry, I hit the camera thing here. So then as you stitch, then you come over to the marker one, and then all you got to do is just swipe over that. You hit clear, or you hit the check mark, and then it basically fills it in for you. If you've made a mistake and you need to like take that off, like if I don't want to put that on, I just put that on there to hold it, and I frog it. So I mark it, exit, and then if I want to frog it again, then I just hold it. I select all finished highlighted stitches in the square. That's a finished highlighted stitch. Click that, come down here, frog it. Go back to my spinning around. I find that a lot of people, you have to play around with this a little bit, but I find that for a lot of people, the hardest part is the beginning. That was how it was for me when I first started using this. When I pulled up a project, like especially, I already have this project in, but it starts like this. So you've got your color list, and you've got your picture, and then you're like, what the heck? I'll click on the PDF. You can scroll through the PDF to see what you need to do. But I always go and hit this arrow icon. And that's where, see, it starts off as a blank thing. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, my pattern's not on there. Why is my pattern not on there? It's on there. You just have to use your fingers to just do the walking. Bring it out. Bring it down. Bring it down until you can use it. And so then you have it there. And again, your compass icon can move this all over the place. Your color search icon helps you highlight a color that you need to do. And then this is your highlighter marker icon that you can use to swipe through. So I'll be using Pattern Keeper on this piece that I'm doing. And you can play around with stuff in the settings. You can change your colors. You can change the search color, which is when it highlights a color that you're getting ready to do. Then if you are parking, which I don't park, so I leave that blank, or I don't mess with that. But the green pops up as the color that goes to where I want to stitch. And then, yeah, I don't mess with anything else here. I honestly don't really know the rest of it. It's obviously it has a lot of functions to it, but so let's go back to the pattern I'm working on. Here. So you can see this is I have a what's that sound? Hubby must be outside working on something. So I'll swipe up to go back into my main menu here and find what I'm working on right now, and then I zoom in on it so you can see kind of what I've done. You see where I've highlighted, I have a color that I'm working on right now, which is 372. You can see how much 372 there is to do all throughout this area here. We're going to just zoom in all the way down. And so this is how I'm working. Now, I've also finished all the stitches pretty much. I have like 1 or 2 stitches over here that, well, actually I can come up here. So I can choose the highlighter. I want to take in all of the stitches on this 10 by 10 block right here. I can just hold down on one of those things and it says select all unfinished highlighted stitches in the square. So then I click that and it highlights everything in the square that I've done. And that's just a quick, easy way to like highlight everything in that area. And again, I only have this one stitched. I'm just going to highlight this square too. So I hold down on the highlighted ones because I've stitched everything in that square that I wanted to. Select all unfinished highlighted stitches in the square. Click that. Check. And then all those are done. Now I'm stitching this area down here. So when I'm not actively highlighting, I will go back on the compass feature because that's sort of like, that's a safety feature for this app. You're able to mess around and do all kinds of things and not accidentally hit anything else that would change the color that you're working on. So hopefully that's a good beginner's tutorial. Let me know if you have any other questions, but I don't have a video on this as of yet. I do have, I might even use this and combine it with when I talked about Pattern Keeper earlier in the week, but may put out a tutorial on it. But there are some really good tutorials. I want to say Michelle Bendy Stitches has a really good tutorial on it, and I know there's a few others. Hopefully that'll get you started with it. Let me know if you have any further questions, if I can answer. But I love this thing. It's so awesome. So I'm just going to zoom in on it, and I'm going to put it to the side here while I stitch. And I got to put my glasses on because I can't see without them. Okay. But it's Pattern Keeper, like cross stitch pattern. I know I tend to talk too fast sometimes. And this, oh, you're so welcome. And so, yeah, what I'll probably do is I'll probably put a video out on my channel. I hope that helps. For most people, you just kind of have to play around with it and figure out what works for you. But, yeah, I had to watch a tutorial when I got started because I was totally, it's like, how does this thing work? And then I had it for like a month and I wasn't using it. And it's crazy to not use it once you have it. I'm just grateful that I was able to get all my cross-stitch collectible patterns on there because that was that's a game changer for those projects for sure. Faux show. So I guess I have to watch Clone Wars today. Hubby is demanding that I watch it before the final episode comes out. He's like, it's so great. And I don't doubt it. It's probably only going to take me like an hour and a half to do it, so I just need to do it. I don't know why I just get so kind of, I don't want to watch this TV. I get like that sometimes. And even my stitches don't always make sense. Like, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to come down here, do this next row, and do my little stitch in there. And then I'm going to come up and finish all these stitches here. So I think tomorrow what I'm going to do is I'll probably stitch, but I'll stitch like, I'll start at 7 o'clock my time. Tomorrow looks like a pretty busy day at work. And if I try to rush home and start my stream at 6, it's just a bit too much stress. So I'll probably start at 7 instead. And someday we'll do Thursday streams. We'll do like probably longer Thursday morning streams or something. But for now, hubby is working from home, so we've already discovered that I can't do any uploading while he's here working because it just kills our upload speed. And so we, so I have to watch what I do. I've done that a few times where I've started uploading like my on Wednesday. If I get home early enough before he's finished with work, I'll start uploading my video, and he's like, "Are you uploading again?" Because his internet just slows way down. I was just watching a video this morning. Grid a scanned paper pattern. I don't think so. Pretty sure. Well, I will say this. I think I've heard of people doing it. I would scan it in. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, because you don't have it. It's not consistent, is from what I understand. It's not consistent. What you could do is you could email the person who does it. If you go on it's patternkeeperapp.com, I think is the website address. And so I think that I've heard of people doing it, but I think it's inconsistent. So what you could do is you could just contact the developer and see what she thinks. I think she'll probably say no guarantees on something like that. But and you'd have to put in all your colors, manually input like your DMC colors for that, for your numbers. But that I don't know. But I have heard of it. Hopefully, even though, like, they're working on the iOS, the Apple version of Pattern Keeper right now, I know that there are ways to run Android programs on your iPhone. I just don't have an iPhone that I can mess with to, like, see how well that works. I switched from iPhones years ago. I want to say it was probably a solid 4 or 5 years ago. The iPhone that I had, you know how often they update. They update like seems like once a month, and my phone had reached a point where, and it wasn't even 2 years old yet, and the battery kept wanting to die, and I had to charge it all the time, and the every time it updated, I literally would have to take it into an Apple store to get them to fix the phone because the update would just break the phone. I just couldn't use it. And with some of the nefarious things that were coming out about how Apple was sort of deliberately running down batteries. Hey, good morning, Coop. I decided to switch to Android, and then eventually what I did is I have Google Fi, which I really like. I like the phone. It's a Pixel 2. It's 2 or 3 years old, and I have no need to upgrade it, and I probably have no need to upgrade it for forever. So, consistent, Arrow? Yeah, it's not consistent as far as, what's the word? As far as like one pattern to the next, like if you're scanning in, it might work and it might not. So it's hard to say. What's up, Coop? You hanging out? You stitching? Or are you doing something else? But yeah, so I eventually just switched over to Google, and I haven't had any problems with them. I upgraded my phone once in the 4 or 5 years I've had it because I just wanted a bigger screen. So I got the bigger screen, and I'm really happy with it. It works great. Trying to remember if I've had any issues. The only issue is just that where the screen's changed on me as far as where the anyway, it's a fine phone. It's a fine phone, and I'm totally happy with it. So I don't plan on changing it or anything. My husband and I have identical phones, so we're on the same plan. Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up. Coop. So my husband and I are kind of like on a family plan with the Google Fi. And what I like about Google Fi is is that it's like I pay per gigabyte, so much per gigabyte, but then after a certain amount of gigabytes, like I don't pay anymore. Like it's not like if you exceed your data plan and then you get punished. It's like you pay up to a certain data plan and then it's free after that. And it's very generous, and I usually use almost all Wi-Fi, so it works pretty well. All right, let's go to Hade. I really ought to have Hade. See, what we do, Coop, is when people come in and they tell me what they're working on, I got to pull it up. So, got to pull it up so everybody can see. Got to share with class. All right, so pull it up here. Whoops. I pressed the wrong button. All right. Oh my goodness, Coop. That is awesome. You were like, are these the big patterns or are these mini patterns? You were like flying. Sweetheart Cottage Max. We'll just look up Sweetheart Cottage. Oh wow. Is this a Thomas Kinkade? It looks like a Thomas Kinkade. It is a Thomas Kinkade. All right. So, everyone, let us look at Sweetheart College. Sweetheart College! Nice. That's pretty. I like that water. You can just tell it's a Thomas Kinkade by the colors, and it's very pretty. See, I would like to live here, but I'd be worried about the water levels rising and flooding. As long as I could be assured that the water levels wouldn't rise and flood, and I could absolutely live right here. It's nice. It's very nice. Sneezerson. All right, now we're going to look at the particulars about this. I'll get back to your honeybee portrait in a second. So, 72 pages. Wow, 575 by 718. 88 colors. Nice. Very cool. Ooh, that's pretty. I always end up on looking at other things while I'm here. This is Minnie the Mountain Cabin. Wow, that's gorgeous. Wow. It's amazing. It's a different designer. That is Dominic Davison. All right, let me get this out of here. Nice. Cool. Thank you, Coop. Come on. X out. There we go. All right, back to Pattern Keeper. The no background honeybee portrait in 10 stitches. That is why you're flying through. So are you using hand-dyed fabric, or what kind of fabric are you using for that? I'm like, where'd my needle go? I gotta pull it back out. And my allergies are gonna be acting up on me today. Pretty bad, I think. I have to take some antihistamines here in a little bit. You guys need to do Oingo Boingo for these guys. Oingo Boingo. Oingo Boingo. Oingo Boingo. Well, they turn their back to me. They make these little chirping sounds that sounds like Oingo Boingo. They'll do it eventually. It's more of a late afternoon kind of, I don't know what they're saying, but it's something they tend to do later in the day. There we go. All right. Hand-dyed 25 count. No. Amazing. I just can't do anything above, well, I mean, I can, but anything above, it has to be a smaller project. I mean, I could do it. It's just, I don't want to. That's the baseline version of it. So, kind of just, at least right now, like all my glasses are everywhere. Nice. All right. Let's get back here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Boingo, boingo. You're funny. I think the birds like me being up here and talking all the time. They usually listen to music, though. When I'm not here, we turn the radio on for them so they can have something to listen to. You know, Arrow, I hope that sooner than later they get that issue fixed with Pattern Keeper. And so it would be really nice. I don't know how app development works, so I don't know how different the process is, if it requires a different coding language or what. My thought would be to hire someone to do it, just because of the time it takes. But it's pretty awesome. Oh no, the bee wings are confetti heavy, really? Oi. Oi, oi. Well, are you using Pattern Keeper? Did you say you're using Pattern Keeper? Because confetti is made. Pattern Keeper is made for confetti. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I got a snag that won't unsnag. Oh, no, it just did. Oh, no, I pulled it the wrong way. There we go. Wow. Gotta put it this way. Gotta hold on to this one. And then come down here. No, maybe I gotta pull on this one. Okay. And boop. 45 colors. Really? Okay, hold on. Let me pull this out. Now, are we talking this part, or are we talking, because when you say wings, I'm thinking, you know, this area here, and that area down here. So if you're telling me that that is heavy in colors, that's crazy. I had to, oh, your PDFs are Knit Companion? Does Knit Companion work pretty well for you? I've never tried Knit Companion. I hadn't tried an app before I tried Pattern Keeper. Yeah, this is just so pretty. I had a B class I had to finish up last night. I had to take my final for the class. Wasn't too big of a deal. I've taken like every B class that I can, really, as a vet. And so I've gotten all my stuff done. So I'm, you know, got as far as I've gotten. The hubby, like I said, is the true expert. I'm just picking little bits up here and there. He went and checked on them yesterday, and they are doing wonderfully. Everybody's safe and doing well. They have a nice little electrified fence around the hives, and there were some critters and whatnot in the area, and hubby got zapped once from the electric fence because he tried going over it and I think bumped up against it a little bit. Yeah, I bet you'd not like to switch him over. I get it. It depends on how you have them done. It wasn't too terrible. The one good thing about Pattern Keeper is that when you're catching up on your stitching, like page by page, it does have a select everything on page function to where you can color in an entire page at a time. So that made, oh, that's right, I'm supposed to get baseball going today. That made things like baseball and things like Apothecary Shop and Old World Map 2 really easy to catch up with on what I had stitched. And so what might be easy if you're just ready to switch onto a new page. It depends on how you stitch, though. If you're, you know, yeah, I get you. You know, it could be if you, like I always, no, I don't. If I, like Old World Map 2, I don't. But if on other things, if I finish a page and then move on to the next page, it works well in Pattern Keeper for me. But yeah, I mean, right now there's the last page I did with paper, and I have that about 7/8 done or something, and I need to go back and fill that in, and that's a pain. That's a pain to try to figure out like what I've stitched and what I haven't stitched. And again, because I just don't have all the colors, and I need to get all the colors. Yeah, exactly, Coop. That was the David Bowie Under Pressure that I was trying to... Wait, was that David Bowie? That was David Bowie. that song's in my head. My whistling leaves many things to be desired. But the birds like it. What's the matter, buddy? You keep going to the back there. I gotta switch some things up in that cage. I think he's trying to clean himself a bit better. And maybe I just don't watch him that. I mean, you know, they're handsome boys. They obviously preen a fair bit because they look good. And they know it. I still don't know what this yellow is on me. Don't know. Snag. Oops, snag. Snagged again. I could tell that was coming. Trying to put too much fabric in a tiny little spot. Too much fabric, too much floss. Too much floss into too little fabric. Really happy that my alert popped up a second ago. I didn't have my I think, whoa. Sorry guys. I didn't have my stream fully set up. I think this is like the proper stream, except for I just need to get this out of the way. But I've moved it to where the focus needs to be. So, but I just need to alter the camera so that it's not blocking. It's not blocking as much. Hard to say, guys. Hard to say. We'll get it ironed out. Oh, nice. There you go. You stick diagonally by 10 by 10. Nice. You guys are more advanced than I am about that. That is awesome. Because I don't use that feature. I should look at it, but I don't do it. I don't use that feature. Is it faster? Oh. Boingo, boingo. Gonna have to make sure that I wear my Star Wars shirt tomorrow for May the 4th day. Alright, got everything done in this. See? 89 stitches is not very much, but it's where I'm at right now. I'm going to just stitch over here. in this area. That's almost Oingo Boingo there. What? We're just going to finish up the last little bit of this floss, and then I'm going to come up here. Okay, cool. That's cool, guys. Well, I learned something new today. I learned something new today. I like it. Thank you. I'll have to try that out. It's hard to teach an old stitcher new tricks, right? Oh, stitcher. Boingo boingo. There it is. What are you doing all the way over here? They're being so active today. It'd be great to have them in the room just flying around and whatnot, but they're not nearly tame enough for me to have them out of the cage. They freak out. I just haven't worked with them. Nobody's ever worked with them, so they get, at least nowadays when I've gone to feed them and stuff, it's one of those things that you know, we just make do. Right, boys? We have our ways now. We're comfortable with each other. I have picked them up a couple of times in having to move them, but it's been at least a year since I've touched them. So try not to freak them out too bad. Alright, come all the way uphill and keep working this color. Oh, I gotta put my leg down. Oh. Whoa, you guys can see how many times I yawn and stretch. Wow, I'm stitching. Oh, I already had him done this. So relaxing. Looking down on me. Oh. Do, 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 do. Just getting figured out here. Coop, we have people from all over. We've had our New Zealand and Australian friends are likely sleeping because it's Sunday night, middle of the night, Sunday night, Monday morning. Those guys can't make today's stream. Trying to see if any folks from across the pond in Europe might be able to make this stream. And so, Utah, nice, cool. Utah. I'm sorry. Johnny. Still kind of waking up. Again, if I sit up straight, probably if I raise my chair up a little bit, I'd probably be better seen, but that's okay. We'll just keep it like this for now. Oh, South Carolina. Oh, goodness. Oh, that's right, you did. Crazy earthquakes. Cool, Arrow. All right, have a good one. See you later. Was it pretty bad, Coop? Was it, break anything in your place? 5.7 seems like it would be definitely incredibly noticeable. Dogs are barking. Husband opened the door back up. He's done from being in the basement. Got the garden done for today. Wow. Crazy. That is crazy. You guys don't have... I mean, I can't recall you guys having an earthquake like that in recent memory. I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever been in an earthquake. Colorado doesn't tend to get earthquakes very much. Well, I should say they don't get big earthquakes, the ones that you can feel. Oh, really? Wow. That's crazy. I'll bet. I'll bet. That's just weird. I mean, we're overdue for another big one on the West Coast, so it always worries me whenever pressure is released somewhere else that it is building on another fault line. Well, do they have fault lines there in Utah? I mean, obviously they must if you had that one. I remember, I can't remember, there was a decent sized earthquake, like, I want to say like 7 or 8 years ago. And it freaked me out enough that tornado, flood, earthquake, and a pandemic. Dang. Yeah, that's something else there. They, oh yeah, so I looked at the, I think it's in Nevada, the U.S. Geological something, the ones that measure all the earthquakes all over the world. And it was comforting and also a little scary to find out how many like little earthquakes are always going on everywhere. I mean, it makes sense, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Sometimes I wonder if that's what my dogs are sometimes freaking out about. Maybe they can feel something I can't. Especially when they seem like they're freaking out about nothing, other than the ghosts that are in the house. There are definitely some creatures, whatever, that come around and freak my dogs out. Or it could also be that dogs are deliberately freaking us out. Sometimes I think that they do that, where they're just like, and they're looking at nothing. And so, pretty good. We're up to 127 stitches. Yeah, right? Yeah, especially if you look on their world map and you look at the big one, when the big ones pop up, and where the fault lines are, especially. But there's so many things going on. Can't worry about just one thing when there's so many other things that are potentially adversely affecting you. So maybe I'll pull out the Bears project and work on it today. Yeah, exactly. Maybe I'll pull that one out and work on it today, because I can support a team that is willing to. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I was talking earlier about the Chicago Bears and how they did not pick up the fifth-year option for the quarterback, who is. He's cute and he's sweet and he's nice and he seems like he's a decent leader, but he's just not good enough. He wasn't good enough. He wasn't good enough to be drafted in the position he was drafted in. But, well, and I wasn't going to stitch on it this year. I'm like, if they're not going to do anything about him, if they are still pushing forward with him being the starter, then I can't. I'm just going to have to take a pause on my fandom, which I do. I take pauses on my fandoms. It's not a totally. I mean, it's one thing if we're just rebuilding for some reason and we just don't have as good of players. But when we have good players and we're just deliberately making poor decisions, well, we're not deliberately making poor decisions. We're deliberately making decisions that are seemingly very poor when they are made. But anyway, but now that they've done that, I'm like, okay, all right, I think it can be okay. I know. It's because I was mad at the Bears. When they had the draft where they picked the quarterback, my husband can tell you, I was all excited about it. I was all hyped, and I was like, because I can't remember who it was. There were some really great players that were available, and I'm not saying that we needed a quarterback, but we didn't need a quarterback at number 2. And we certainly didn't need to trade up one spot and give away like other draft picks for it. It was a terrible move. But when they picked the quarterback, I screamed so loud that all the dogs ran away. And my husband was like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "They just made a terrible decision. Totally terrible decision." Because my favorite quarterback in that draft was actually Deshaun Watson. I thought they could have gotten him late in the first or in the second. I did not know anything about Patrick Mahomes, so I couldn't have known that was going to happen. But Patty Mahomes would not have been. I think he benefits from Andy Reid. I don't know. I think he would be. He's pretty awesome. I don't know if he would be awesome in every offense. He's got a half stitch here that I didn't stitch. But where am I? I'm over here. I'm up here. What's going on? I'm over here. Let me highlight a little bit. Help myself figure out where I'm at.